Okay, yeah. Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the third edition of Robotic Process Automation edition of IncubateIND Developer Tech Camp. This is the third edition of IDTC that we are doing this time. And to introduce IDTC, it is a chain of developer tech camps that we are doing across every month for now to inculcate and introduce the new technologies, the features, the traditions, the trends that are going in the technological world among the students so that they get to understand the technological importance of how actually the world is working around them. So, just to share the screen and make you understand what IDTC has been throughout our journey of past two experiences, we would be let me just share the screen so that let me introduce what the event is all about. So IDTC had been started in the month of Feb this year with the whole concept of having tech camps across to the students who are just starting with new technologies and want to explore technologies that has been prevalent throughout in the industry and help them get exposure as well as get to know from the best in the industry. We had started with the very first edition of IDTC as GitHub Developer Tech Camp, wherein we had around 1800 plus registrations with 5 plus speakers over the 3 days of period, and we had raised around 180 plus issues, 460 plus PRs, as well as 100 of GitHub pages that were hosted. The next edition, that is the IDTC DevOps edition, saw 1,100 plus registrations with two speakers, and we had a day full of interaction with speakers around building up Docker containers, how actually DevOps work, and how to actually deploy your project. So, with this time we have come up with a new addition, which is robotics process automation. So, RPA may be new to many, may not be new to many people out there. But just to introduce, RPA is the automation process which is being used in the industry today. So whether it is you see an assembly line production of a car manufacturing industry, or whether you see a HR management policy which requires automation tool, RPA can be found everywhere. And why is it so booming? So just to introduce it to you and the aspects of how deep RPA has been embedded into our lives today, we will be having our keynote speaker with us today, Nisarg Kadam. He is RPS COE lead at CRG Solutions as well as a Uipath MVP. So Uipath is one of the leading organizations in the field of RPA. As well as we would be having few other mentors with us, Parth Doshi, who is an RPA developer at Worley, and Piyush Agarwal, a RPA developer at TCS. The schedule for this automation tech camp would be of 3 days. That is, today we would be starting with the inauguration. We would be having a workshop in which Mr. Kadam would be introducing you to the RPA. He would be giving you a challenge, and at the end of the day, today we would be having the progress check and the submission. And remember, all of this would be taking place on our communication platform at Levrise. So if you haven't joined it yet, please do join it, as well as I'll ask my coordinators and to kindly drop in the link of the Levrise communication channel for those who haven't joined yet. The day two, that is tomorrow, we'll be starting with another automation workshop wherein Nisar could once again introducing you to the advanced features of RPA. We would be going through the challenge discussion process. We would be checking the problem statements. We would be then also having your submissions. And then on Monday, that is, we would be having the announcements of the winners or the top performers of the Developer Tech Camp. And just to introduce a new fundamental feature to our tech camps, we would be having a hackathon on RPA exclusively to the participants of this tech camp, and this hackathon would be conducted the next weekend. So You have got lots and lots of features coming up in the next 3 days upline for you, as well as do keep following the Slack channel, Leverage channel for all the information. It is the most important point of communication for us, as well as there would be a lots of opportunities, whether we are speaking of goodies to the top performers, as well as internship opportunities to the few selected ones. So this is it. We have got our partner in the form of Uipath. So I'm not without taking much of time. What I'll be doing is that I'll just get over back to Nisarg. So Nisarg, if you are there, could you just join in?
Yes.
Yeah,
Hi,
hi Nisarg.
Kaushik.
Hi Nisarg.
Hi.
Hope you are doing well.
Yes, I am. Thank you so
Okay,
much.
okay. So Nisarg, the stage is all yours. You have the entire day with you, and you can let the students understand RPA, because again, it's IDTC RPA. And just a small request for
Sure.
helping us, requesting the students, please do follow the hashtag IDTC and post as much as possible, whether it is on LinkedIn or Instagram. It definitely helps create a buzz. So without wasting much of time, over to you, Nisar. Thanks a lot. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Kaushik, and special thanks to IDTC for such a wonderful platform and such an awesome platform for students to make it available for everyone to learn RPA. Now, robotic process automation is a vast topic. So before I jump on the topic, already Kaushik has talked a little bit about me. Let me introduce myself. My name is Nisarg Kadam. I am Uipath MVP, and I am working as an RPA COA lead for CRG Solutions. And also, I have a YouTube channel. I am a YouTuber, and also I am a community chapter organizer for Mumbai location of Uipath community. So we have a lot to talk about, and I'm super excited for this day, and I'm super excited for this day one actually, and super excited to explain all of you guys that what RPA is all about, and why you should choose your career as in RPA, and why you should become a RPA developer, RPA expert, or any field you choose or any designation you choose. Just get into RPA right now because it's one of the booming technology right now in the market. So before I start talking and before I talk a lot about all this stuff, so let me start sharing my screen and let me show you a couple of slides and then we will talk completely practical. So first of all, let's jump into some facts and let's talk about some facts. So allow me to share my screen. I hope you're able to see my screen. Kaushik, can you pull my screen up?
Yes,
Yep.
Nisar,
Thank you.
we can see your screen.
Perfect. So before we get started, the very first and very most important thing is you will be paid in the future based on how well you work with robots right now, and that's being said by Jacob Morgan, who is a futuristic person and who is also author of many books. So this line says a lot. This line says a lot about why you should start working with robots right now. Now, whenever we talk about a robot, the first thing that comes to your mind is nothing but a small robot or a small piece of robot which has, wheels. Either it is your remote controller car or a small robot which looks like a robo in the robot movie, and that comes to your mind, right? But when we talk about robotic process automation, when we talk about RPA, the robots that we are talking about, those are completely virtual. Those robots are not at all physical robots, which you can see, which you can touch, which you can actually feel. Those robots are virtual assistants, virtual workers in your machine, which helps complete your task, which helps complete your daily routine. So without wasting time, we'll look at the next screen. What is RPA? First of all, so RPA, so this image talks a lot. Routine task after task. What am I a robot? Right? And then you will see you're not, but I am. So there comes a robot, which is a digital worker, right? And then you see every routine task the robot is doing, and then the person who is doing the task is creative, meaningful work you can see on the top of his head. So why creative, why meaningful work? Because now he's not doing the routine task daily. He is not doing the same task daily again and again, and he's not doing the boring job, but he is free for thinking something creative, for doing something innovative, for having some meaningful work rather than the routine and tedious task. So that's all what RPA is all about. However, if you want a definition of book language, because I know many people love the definition of bookish language, so for them, this is the screen. RPA is a technology that allows computer software to mimic actions typically performed by human interacting with digital system to execute business process. Now, this statement tells you that RPA nothing but mimics human action. However, over the period of years, over the couple of years, RPA has evolved a lot. RPA has gone on to a different level where RPA can not only automate or only mimic human action, however, it can also take some decisions, which is fuzzy decisions, which is some logical decisions, where machine learning comes into picture. And that we will look into tomorrow's session. So that's why you should attend tomorrow's session, which is going to be very awesome, where we are going to look at RPA and integration of machine learning also. In today's session, we are going to specifically talk about RP, and we are going to also practically look at how can we create multiple bots using Uipath. Okay. Now, when I talked about Uipath, so when we talk about RP, there are so many tools out there in market, and why I call them tools is because that is already a created component or a created framework on top of which you have to work. So RPA, to learn RPA, you don't have to specifically learn any language. You don't have to learn Python. You don't have to learn Java explicitly, C Sharp, something like that. You don't have to do that. You just have to remember the activity, and you have to create a meaningful workflow, and that makes your automation possible. And that's how easy it is actually, which we are going to look at. So what is the scope of RPA? And that's what I wanted to tell you, and specifically, so I have this slide with me. McKinsey estimated that 3.6 trillion of work is automatable. Now look at this, the number. 3.6 trillion of work is automatable means a lot. And if McKinsey's report says that, then that means it's a serious business. And that's where RPA's scope in the future is going to increase a lot. The job availability is going to increase a lot. It's going to boost a lot. Now, if we talk about the job availability, let's talk about the next screen. When I talk about RPA, I said Uipath, and I also said that I am Uipath MVP. Now, why Uipath? Uipath is the leading tool right now in the market. And why you should choose Uipath is because Uipath is not only an automation company, but it's a fully automated enterprise where you get literally all the products that you need to automate any business. If you want to start automation in your organization, you can completely go digital with Uipath. And that's what is displayed right now in front of you on the screen. So we start with the overview. Uipath platform is there, which you can download Uipath Studio, Uipath, and also you have automation clouds. Uipath's orchestrator is also on cloud. You get a cloud feed of it. In the discovery phase, you have automation hub, task capture, process mining, task mining. Automation hub, task capture, process mining, task mining. These tools are for the management people to look after the management, of your robots and what is happening, which projects are actually running, looking after the project's progress status, which phase our project is currently into. That all you get information into automation hub. It's just like a DevOps. It's a small DevOps system which Uipath has made available. It's Uipath's own product. Task capture, which automatically captures the task while you're showing on your screen and creates a meaningful workflow out of it, and also PDD out of it. So which is also an awesome product. Process mining and task mining, they are on a different level of products, and they are very meaningful, which helps you to get started with your RP business in your organization. In the building phase, this phase is for us, for the developers, where we have Uipath Studio X, which is for citizen developers. We have Uipath Studio, Uipath Studio Pro. Pro is for advanced developers, where you can integrate so many technologies. You can integrate AI, document understanding, and marketplace. From marketplace, you have so many already built components which you can download, which you can use, you can reutilize them, and you can create your own workflows. So Uipath community is already established a lot that you have so many components available on marketplace. Now, talking about the managed cycle of Uipath, so you have orchestrator, which is the cloud component of Uipath, which manages all the robots. Now, I know I'm talking a lot of technical terms, but you will all get to know what exactly I'm talking about. AI Center. AI Center, nothing but helps you to connect or integrate your AI with RPA. Test Suite also allows you not to use this development platform only for automation development, but also for automation testing. Not only for automation testing, but process testing also. So Test Suite is one of the biggest component. Data services allows you to store data in-house without explicitly storing your data in the random third-party databases. And Insights gives you insights of each and every status or execution status of the bot. So you have so many informative details. So for management people, for managerial team, manage part is really really important in terms of business scale. Now talking about running, when we build this bot, when we build this workflow, who is going to run it? Now here comes into picture our robot. So robot, I just told you, robot, consider it as a digital worker, as a digital assistant. Robot are of two types: attended robot, unattended robot. And also there is a test robot, which is used for testing. Attended robot is the robot which helps user work smoothly when user is also sitting with the robot and user is also helping robot to complete the task. So attended robot needs instructions from human and it works with human hand in hand. For example, if I'm working on a process where I'm working in a BPO, I'm working in a call center, and I received a call from the customer, and customer is asking me to recharge his internet. So if I want to recharge his internet, I have already created a bot which processes the entire task of automation to recharge the specific customer's internet. However, I need certain details to enter to this bot in order to pass the input of this bot, such as the customer number, customer name, ID, or customer ID. It could be anything. So a human passes the input data, he clicks on run, and the bot runs very smoothly and just recharges the person's internet, and that's it. So here, what happened here? Human and bot worked hand in hand together and completed the task. That is nothing but the attended automation. Now, talking about unattended automation, unattended automation is something where human is not at all involved. Bot takes its own decision, bot starts on its own, bot completes the process or task on its own, and then just passes the status to the human. For example, I have a task to upload 100 to 15 files, 100 to 200 files on SAP. And I want to do that, but I don't have time because I'm doing my daily task also, which is meaningful. But I have night. So in the night, my bot will automatically run. So I can also schedule my bot when exactly it should run. So bot, we schedule the bot automatically runs in the night, uploads all the file and completes the status. And then it also sends an email to you saying that I have completed all the tasks and it is now completed and it's on SAP. Now talking about engage, so you have Uipath apps where you have a low-code app builder where you can actually build a low-code app on Uipath. You have Action Center, you have Assistant, and you have chatbots. Now I know you are more interested in chatbot. Chatbot is one of the component of Uipath where you can actually create chatbots, which is like a human to bot communication. So these are so many important and products which Uipath has, and that's where I wanted to introduce all of these to you before we actually get to know Uipath and why Uipath. Uipath also provides you flexible, secure delivery of automation cloud. You can also select public cloud, hybrid, on-premises. I know that that's not the part that you are looking into right now, being a student, but you should have that information handy. Now, again, if somebody asks you if you choose Uipath, then people ask you why Uipath. The first thing is Uipath was voted as #1 on G2 for RPA as low-code category in all the 4 regions. So it is one of the most easiest platform for any developer to work on. And again, Uipath named a leader with the highest ranking in the current offering and strategy and RP market present categories. And the source, you can look at the image. The image says a lot. So Uipath is on top of all the strong performers or all the products right now available for RP in market. Where Microsoft is there, Automation Anywhere is there, Nice, Chiron, Pegasystem, WorkFusion, SAP. A lot of tools are coming up, a lot of technologies are coming up, and they are also into RP business. However, Uipath is on a different level. It is the leader right now. And that's why I am telling you, you should learn Uipath. It's really important right now. Now, why you should choose your career as RPA developer? That will be the first question that comes to your mind. I know, I'm pretty sure about that. So why you should choose your career as RPA developer or why you should choose your career in RPA? So if you can look at the screen, the estimated to be displaced number of jobs in millions, I'm talking about in millions, the 70 millions of jobs were estimated to be displayed according to the report, Future of Jobs report in 2018. And estimated jobs to be emerged in 2025 are 130 million jobs. Now, talking about 130 million jobs, I know that we are talking about RPA, robotic process automation. We are talking about replacing humans, but that doesn't make that this reduces the number of jobs, but it only increases the number of jobs for you people. Because so if you remember the statement on my first screen, if you start working with robots now, you will survive in future. So that's where it comes into picture that by 2025 you will have almost 130 million jobs availability in market for RPA. So you should choose your career wisely now, and that's where I'm into RPA. So okay, so we have talked a lot about theoretical part of it. What is RPA? Why RPA? Why you should choose your career as RPA? Why Uipath? And what are the products of Uipath? And then why you should choose Uipath as your starting point. So before we come to any conclusions, we will get started with Uipath development. So the first thing is we have Uipath Studio, Uipath Orchestrator, Uipath Robots. These are the main components of Uipath product. So what is Uipath Studio? Uipath Studio is a developer studio, or you can say it is where you create bot. It is where you actually develop your code. It is where you write your code. It is where you create the workflow, and from where you are going to run the bot. Now the orchestrator is the middleware, as you can see on screen. Okay, so orchestrator is helping you to execute, is helping you to monitor. Okay, now orchestrator is something which manages over the robots, which decides when to run the robot, which robot to run, at what time it should run, and when it should stop. So everything, right from running the robots to which robot, on which machine, at what time, and when it should stop, everything is decided by orchestrator. Also, there are some advanced features of orchestrator where you get to store the data, store credentials, store information in orchestrator queue. So there are so many things that comes into orchestrator. Talking about robots, we have already seen there are two types of robots. One is attended robot, another one is unattended robot, right? Now, this is the actual executor. This is the actual, you can say, digital worker, which actually works on the ground, which actually works, which actually runs the bot. So this is the entire architecture that you should know. It is very smooth. It's very simple architecture where you have Uipath Studio, where you will be developing the bots. In Uipath Orchestrator, you will be managing the bots, and robots are going to run. So all you have to work on is Uipath Studio. Okay, so perfect. Now let's jump on the next screen, and here we will start creating some bots. So let's go ahead and let's create some bots, and let's see how can we create them on screen. So allow me to share my screen. So this is Uipath tool. So this is the Uipath Studio, and this is how Uipath Studio looks. As soon as you open Uipath Studio, it looks like this, where you have already opened recently projects. So these are the recent projects that you can see on the left hand side, and these are new project features you can see on the right hand side. These are a couple of templates on the right hand side, as you can see on screen. So this is nothing but a tool. It's a Windows tool. I am using Windows 10 machine. It's a Windows tool, and the Uipath Studio which I'm currently using, it's 2020.10.6, which is almost the latest version of enterprise. However, there is more new versions which are coming on the monthly basis, so you have to keep yourself very much updated on the daily basis. Now, this is how your Uipath Studio looks like, and this is the low-code platform where you are actually going to build bot. You're going to create multiple automations, and you're going to run from the studio. Okay, so we will start with creating a new process. Okay, so let's say click on process. As you can see on screen, I can see that there is a process here. It says process, right, under the new project. So I will click on this one here, and I will say process. In the process, we will call our today's process as, let's say, D1 automation. Okay, I will give it a description as D1 RPA Tech Camp automation. Then I'm going to say create. As you can see on screen, it is loading, it is creating a workspace, it is adding some dependencies, right? And it will create a new project for you, which is a blank canvas. It is just like any coding platform that you have. Okay, so let me click on the open main workflow, and this is the UiPath Studio, or this is the UiPath tool. It's a blank canvas on which you can develop the bot. Now, before we start anything, I hope you guys know from where you have to download this tool. However, if you don't know that, then you can navigate to the official website of UiPath, which is uipath.com. Okay. If you go to www.uipath.com, you have to click on try UiPath for free. Here you can see on the top right corner, you have option which says try UiPath for free. You have to click here, which will navigate you to cloud.uipath.com. The cloud platform will look like this. Once you sign up, once you register, continue. So once you sign up and once you register, your cloud automation platform will kind of look like this. Okay. Now, once you are on cloud platform, you can see there is a download UiPath Studio button right here, which will allow you to download the tool, which will be an exe file, which you can install and you can use. Okay. So you can download UiPath Studio from here and you can get started with your automation. So just for the information, I have given you this information from where you can download it. Okay. Now, keeping that in mind, let's navigate back to our automation platform. Now, this is the tool. Okay. So you don't have, you should, it's not mandatory for you to have any technical knowledge, such as C# or, Python or Java, which is mandatory to use this tool. Nothing like that. This tool is completely based on, Visual Basics, and this is completely based on Windows Foundation. So there's no difficulty here to use it. And now let me introduce the tool to you really quick. So on the top, you can see there's design panel, correct? On the design panel, you can see there is creation of new sequence, flowchart, state machine. You can run the file, run the project, or run the automation. Manage packages, from where you can actually download the packages that you have to work on. You have recording option, where you can also create recordings. You can click on the recording and you just do the steps manually, and bot will automatically record you what you're actually trying to do. You have screen scraping option, you have data scraping option, you have UI Explorer, you have test manager, and you have so many things here on the top of the design panel. Okay. And also you can see on the left hand side, there is project panel, where you actually see your project. You can have activities panel, where you can actually see all the activities that you're going to use. Now we are going to create our bot with the help of activities. Okay. And on the right hand side, you can look at the properties, outline, and object. So just don't worry too much. It's very simple, and we are going to look at how to use it. So it's going to be very easy for you. As soon as you create a new project, so where did we create new project from? We were on the home screen, we clicked on the process, we gave it a name, and we created new project. Now when we created new project, the first screen that we saw was UiPath Studio Pro and Open Main Workflow, this link, correct? So what we have to do is we have to simply click on this Open Main Workflow link. This will open a white canvas for you. Click on the activities panel on the left hand side. On the activities panel on the left hand side, what you have to do is you simply have to click here and you have to type here flowchart. Okay. Drag this flowchart right to the center where it says drop activity here. So what I did, I just typed the name of the activity. Okay. I dragged it here and I double click to open it. Now, what is flowchart and what is sequence you have seen? So there are two types of containers available in UiPath. One is sequence, one is flowchart. Flowchart can be used to design complex automations and complex bot, where you have reusability, where you can do looping mechanisms, you can do any sort of complex logic that you want. You can also skip the activities. However, in sequence, you have to create only sequential processes, which is a piece of automation. Now, why I have taken flowchart is because I am going to perform all the automation on the flowchart window right here. So what we are going to do is we are going to simply put this start button right here, where we should not disturb it. Okay. Now, let's get started. So first of all, what I need to do is I need to drag one sequence because I need to contain my workflow which I'm going to run. So I'm going to drag this sequence and I'm going to connect it with the start node. So I'm just putting my sequence right here. Now look at this, how easy it is, okay? How easy the user interface is. I'm just connecting with the start node, right? Saved it. Now this is my sequence. I'm clicking on the sequence and I'm giving it a name as, let's say, the first automation that I want to show you, which is going to be very awesome. It's Flipkart automation. So I hope all of you are aware about Flipkart. Flipkart is just like Amazon, which is a retail platform available. So I'm going to perform the automation of Flipkart. So I have given the name of this particular sequence of Flipkart. I'm just going to double click open it. As soon as I open it, the first thing that I want to do is I want to open website of Flipkart. Okay. Now, in order to open website, if you talk about Java or if you talk about Python, you have to write so many lines of code, and then you open the browser and you open you select a specific browser, you select a specific website, and then you open that website in a specific browser. You have to write a number of lines of code for that. But here in Uipath, look at it, how easy it is. I just want to open the website. So what I will do is in the activities panel, right here in the search box, I will type open browser. That's it. In the open browser, I will simply hold this and drag it to the center inside this Flipkart sequence, right? Which says open browser. And right here, it says insert URL here. And it says text must be quoted. Okay. Now here I will just double click and I will write the URL. So text must be quoted means you have to write the text in the double quotation. Okay. Now I will have to enter the Flipkart website here. So what I will do is I will simply go to Chrome. I will open Flipkart here. I will copy the link. I will come back. I copied the link of the Flipkart. I came back to Uipath workflow. And in the open browser, I'm going to paste the link right here. I hope you can see this link. Okay, I have pasted the link. Now, on the right hand side, look at this. I have clicked on this open browser activity. Now, how do I make sure which browser it selects to open this particular website? So from the drop down of browser type, I can see there is Internet Explorer, there is Firefox, there is Chrome, there is Edge browser. So I will select Chrome from the browser type. Save this. Okay. You can open hidden session, you can open new session, you can open private session for this. Okay. Now what we will do is we have selected the browser as Chrome. In order to run or in order to open the browser, open this particular website and work this website, you have to install the extension of Uipath on Chrome. So how do you install the extension of Uipath on Chrome? For that, you simply have to click on Home button on the application. You have to click on the tools. In the tools panel, you will look at there are multiple extensions available such as Chrome, for Edge browser, for Firefox, for Citrix automation, for SAP Solution Manager. You have so many of the extensions here. You can click on any one of the extension and you can install that particular extension on your Uipath Studio, and that extension automatically will be installed in the Chrome browser also. Now, once you have the extension up, you have open browser, you have written the URL. Now, what I want to do is I want to make sure that as soon as the browser opens, my screen is maximized and it stays maximized. In order to do that, what I will do is I will type maximize screen or maximize window. Now you have an activity right here on the left hand side, as you can see, which says maximize window. Now how beautiful it is, how easy it is. Look at this. I wanted to open the browser and the name of the activity is open browser. Okay, I wanted to maximize the window and the name of the activity is maximize window. So that's what I'm talking about. The everything on screen, everything is so clear, so smooth that you already have names. The activity names are very easy, and whatever you want to do, it's already there in the Uipath activities. So you don't have to explicitly go and do coding unless it is very complex. It is very mandatory to insert the codes. But unless it is not needed, you can do all the types of development using just the dragging and dropping of the activities. And that's what I was talking about. Now I will drag this maximize window within the open browser. Okay, as you can see on screen, this is the open browser. This is where the flipkart.com is written, and inside this open browser, I have dragged maximize window. Okay. Now, what we want to do is once the window is open, now we will check our code very quickly whether it is running or not. So what I will do is I will close this Flipkart, which I have already opened. Okay, I will minimize this. And now look at the screen, what happens, okay? So I came back, and on the Uipath platform, I am clicking on here and I'm going to say run. Okay, I'm going to say run here. As soon as I say run, look at this, what happens. A small robot will appear here and it's already done. So within the fraction of a second, within 1 second, it has opened Chrome browser and it has opened Flipkart in it. Look at it, how fast it is. The speed of the bot execution is so fast that before you even blink, it already opened the browser within 1 second. That's what the speed I'm talking about. Okay, so I hope you're interested by now, and I hope you are now really into it. So let's get started with the further development. So what we have done is we have opened the Flipkart. So let's open the Flipkart again. We have opened the website. What we want to do is, what I want to do is, I want to, let's say, buy a TV, and I don't have much of a time in order to spend so much of time just checking all the TVs available on the internet and checking all the data of the TV. So I'm just going to type here TV, enter, and there is so many information. Look at this. There are 1,700 search results available on the Flipkart Plus. So what I'm going to do is there are so many results there where I want to look at each and every information. I want to check the price of the TV and I want to check the name of that particular TV. And based on the offer, I want to decide which TV I want to buy. But there are so many televisions and so many search results. You can see here there are more than 10 pages of information available per page. At least there are 10 television informations available, right? So what I'm going to do, I'm going to use UiPath. I'm going to use automation for this to help me solve my problem. What I'm going to do is I'm simply going to navigate back to UiPath. Okay, I already opened Flipkart. What I'm going to do is I'm going to here attach browser. Now look at this. Attach browser is again an activity. Now why do I want to attach browser? Because there are so many browsers open already. You can see my YouTube channel is already open. My Gmail is already open. Robotic process UiPath is already open. Now I want to make sure that my automation works only on this particular panel or particular tab of the Chrome, which is Flipkart. So that's why I need to attach my browser. So what I will do is I will drag attach browser activity right below this open browser. I will click on the indicate browser. Look at this. I will simply click on the indicate browser on screen. There is this button available which is indicate browser on screen. I will click on it and I will simply select this particular Chrome browser. That's it. And let's go back to UiPath Studio. In the studio, this browser is selected. Check the selector. Now, once you attach the browser, what you have to do is you have to click on this 3 horizontal lines you can see on the activity and click on edit selector. As soon as you click on edit selector, you can look at the selector. Now this is the selector which is selecting the website which is available on screen right now. And it is giving me application is Chrome and it is telling me that the title is this. It was automatically captured by UiPath. How smooth it is, look at this. It looks just like a magic. Now from the title, I want to make sure no matter what, when I run the particular automation, it should run very smoothly. So what I'm going to do is, it's not only for TV, right? It's not only for television. So I want to make sure that my screen runs no matter what when I'm on Flipkart. So what I'm going to do is, I'm going to indicate my screen when I'm on the Flipkart homepage. And I'm going to check the selector. Again, selector says online shopping site. And now look at this. There is no Flipkart written on the title. It says only online shopping site for mobile, electronic, furniture, grocery, lifestyle. So I need to bring Flipkart. So I need to bring Flipkart into picture. Okay. I need to make sure that I select this Flipkart on the screen. So in order to do that, what I will do is I will click on this open in UI Explorer. Now look at this again, I will tell you. So this is the attached browser which I took. Attached browser I used in order to select the website on screen, which is flipkart.com. Okay. And here on the three dots, I clicked. There is edit selector option. I clicked on the edit selector, which allows me to select the particular tab available on screen. Now in this panel, which says selector editor, okay, I have to click on open in UI Explorer. Now I will simply go ahead and click on this open in UI Explorer and wait for this UI Explorer to open. Okay, now as soon as this selector is UI Explorer is open, you can see on the right hand side, there is selected items app title, which is already selected. We have to select URL. Click and select the URL and uncheck the title. We don't want the title. So I have now selected URL and I have selected the app. So that makes me that I am on a screen of Flipkart and the application is Chrome. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to validate and I'm going to click on save and I'm going to click on OK, and that's it. So that is how I selected my Chrome. Did I have to code anything? Did I have to write any Python code? Did I have to write any Java code for this? No. Okay. So I have to simply select the selector. That's it. I can also rename the name of the activity. You can see attached browser Chrome TV. It says, so I can also rename the browser activity name. I can say attached browser. I can do that. Now, once I do that, what I have to do is manually, I have to go to Chrome. Okay. And once I open the website, the next step that I want to do, that my robot, I want my robot to do is actually type TV here in the search box and then hit enter button on the keyboard. So I want my robot to type TV on the Flipkart and then hit enter button on the keyboard. So this is the manual process that I do. So I want my robot to mimic my action exactly, copy to copy. How it is going to happen. Now let's go back to Uipath. Now think about it. In order to type on the website, on the browser, what activity I will need or what activity I will have to drag in order to type. Can anyone guess? Can anyone reply in the chats? Which activity I will have to drag here in order to type on the browser? What would be the name of the activity? Any guesses? Mention in the chat section. Okay, so Prem Rao says type into, Piyush says type text, and Neha says type into. So yes, and Mansi also says type into. So yes, you guys are correct actually. In order to type on the browser, I have to drag activity whose name is so simple that type into, and that's it. So you can see here element keyboard type into, right? There is this type into. Perfect. I get so many responses. Thank you so much for so many responses, guys. So you have to drag this type into activity right inside this attached browser Flipkart. Now I drag this type into, and this type into says indicate element inside browser where you actually want to type, right? Now I have to indicate the box where I write TV, where I type TV. So I will click on this indicate element and I will show this is the box where I need to type. So I will simply select this and that's it. I selected this particular search box. And then again, for you, I will show it to you again. Indicate on screen. You can look at this. This is the search box. So as I'm hovering on the search box, it shows me blue colored hover. Can you see? This blue color hover means that element is available for you to select. That element is available for you to type. So I will hover on this and I will select this particular search box. Once I select the search box, right in the activity below, there is an option to which says text must be quoted. You want to type what you have to type here. So just mention the double quotation. Now every time I'm writing in double quotation. Why is that? Because when I write in double quotation, it is considered as a string. Okay. Whenever you want to pass any string, you have to write that string in double quotation. Always remember that. So I give the double quotation. In the double quotation, I'm going to type here TV, just as we typed on the browser. Okay. And once I type TV, after that, what I want to do is I want to manually click enter on the keyboard button. Okay. I want to manually click enter on the keyboard button, but I want my bot to do it. I want my robot to do it. So any guesses how robot can click on keyboard button? What is there any activity or what can we do in order to make this robot to click on the enter button? Any guesses? Anyone? So we have so many responses of the previous question. Okay, Shrint Goyal says keystrokes. Prem Rao says click, submit, send hotkey, and then choose enter. Hotkey. Okay, so I have so many responses. That's great. So some of you says keystroke, some of you says hotkey, and some of you says click, and Aishwarya says enter. Okay, so we have many options here. The first option is that we can go back on the Flipkart and we can actually click on this search button, which is right here on the corner. You can see. So what I can do is once I type TV, I can simply add here a click activity, which actually performs a mouse click. So I can drag this click activity, I can indicate the element, and I can show it on the screen that this is the small search button which I want to click. Can you guys see this? So this is where I can actually go ahead and I can click, and I can show them that this is where I should click in order to get the next data. Show the robot. Or the second way to do this is what you guys have entered in the chat section. I can actually use hotkey. This hotkey is nothing but send hotkey, correct? The activity name is send hotkey. I can drag this activity here, send hotkey. I can indicate the element where I need to send this hotkey. So I can indicate this is the element where I need to send the hotkey. And from the keys section available in the send hotkey activity, there are so many keys available. You can see back button, tab, number enter, break, pause, caps. All the keys, all the special keys that you want to press, the keys are available right here on screen. So you can see all the keys available right here on screen, and you can select any of the key that you want to select. Okay, so this is the second way we saw. The first way was to click actually on the search button. The second way is to drag the send hotkey activity and select the enter button from here. So there is this enter button. You can select this enter button. You can use this. And the third way to do this. What is the third way to press enter as soon as we type TV? The third way to do this is, can you actually see there is a small plus button right here on the activity of type into, right? So look at this carefully. This is type into activity. On the right hand side, you can see there's a small plus button here available, correct? You can click on this plus button, and this will allow you to add some special keys as soon as you type your text. So out of the special keys, I will select enter, and that will automatically add in my type into as a keyboard command. You can see K enter is a keyboard command which is added in my text which says TV. So right now what we have done is, we have till the time, I will quickly recap. So we have till the time we have opened the browser, we have opened Flipkart website in the browser, we have maximized the window. Once we maximize the window, we make sure that we attach the specific Flipkart website, and once we attach the website, we type into the search button and we type TV into that particular search button, and then we press enter. Okay, and then what we have to do, so let's save this and let's try to see if it actually runs. So I will close the Flipkart very quickly, minimize this, and I will run the bot and look at how fast it is going to run. So as soon as I say run, that's it. It's already done. Now look at the speed. I know it's a jaw-dropping speed. It's only 2 seconds, and within the 2 seconds, what happened is it opened the browser, it typed TV, it hit enter button, and it is right now on the television screen on the Flipkart. So that's how fast bot is performing. For us to develop this, we took 10 to 15 minutes, but for the bot to run it, it took only 2 seconds. So I hope now you are enjoying this bot building. It's very easy, and I know it's something like a magic. So I hope you all are interested and you all are learning it. So now let's look at how can we extract this data. How can we extract this multiple data from screen into tabular format? Now, in order to get the data for me out of this particular website, what I have to do is come back to Uipath. Okay. Now we have done open the browser. We have done typing into search box and typing TV, and now we are going to click on data scraping, and we are going to extract the data. Okay. Perfect. So now let's get started with this and let's see how we are going to extract the data. So we will simply click on data scraping option here on the design panel. Okay. On the data scraping option on the design panel, as you can see on top, you simply have to click on this data scraping. Click here. It opens a wizard which says extract wizard. Okay. So from this extract wizard, what it says open your browser, open the application, document, navigate to where you want to extract data from, press the next in the dialog and hover the mouse cursor over the data source field. Click on that field. Okay, so it says open a browser, application, document, and then perform all this step. So what you have to do is you have to simply click on next button. Okay, click on the next button. Now what I want to do is I want to extract all this information, but I want to extract the name, the title or the brand of the television first of all. So click on this brand of the television. I clicked on this. Now, as soon as I clicked on this brand, it says to create a pattern, you need to indicate a similar field, preferably the last in the collection. Okay, so we will go ahead and we will select the last in the collection. So I am scrolling till the last page, sorry, last television. And now I will click on next and I will indicate the name of this television. Now, as soon as I indicated the first title and the last title, and it created a pattern. Now, this pattern, it is asking me to identify these fields. As soon as you can see on screen, before I enter anything in this wizard, you can see all the names have been identified. You can see they are highlighted. All the titles are highlighted. So it identified the pattern that we are trying to highlight the name. Okay. So as we highlighted the name, the second thing what we need to do is in the configure columns, we want to also extract the text and we also want to extract the URL. So first we will type here, the text is going to be the brand name and the URL is going to be the link. Okay. So I'm going to call first column as brand name, second column as link, and I'm going to click on next button here and see what happens. As soon as I click on next, it will show you all the brand names. Now, some of the data might be empty is because it is not in the pattern, because mostly the data is not always expected in pattern. Some of the data might be out of the pattern because of some extra feature, because of some extra added UI, because we are extracting this data from the UI of the Flipkart. Okay. Now this data is in pattern, and just because of the pattern, we are able to extract all this information. Now we have already extracted brand name. We have extracted the link. Now what I want to do is I want to extract price also. Okay. So you can see here, I want to extract price also, but I can see I have only brand name and link. Now, can you guess what I have to do in order to extract price also? And I want to add this column called as price in the table. So what do I have to do in the data panel? Can anyone answer? Any guesses? I'm waiting for your comments in chat section. Any guesses that you have? What do I have to do in order to add one more column, which is price? Okay. Shruti says extract correlated data. Mayank says edit data definition. Interesting answers. Okay, okay, no problem. So what we are going to do is we are going to click on extract correlated data. So the answer of Shruti is correct, Shruti Vikas, that we are going to extract correlated data and we are going to click on this. So extract correlated data and we are going to indicate again the price of the first one, the first price that is displayed on the screen for the first, for the same element which we selected the name of the TV, right? So we are going to select price of that. Click on the price, and it says again to create a pattern you need to indicate a similar field, preferably last in the collection. No problem. So what we will do, we will navigate to the last in the collection, which is this television, where we had the brand name. And what we are going to do is we are going to click on next button and we are going to indicate price of the last television. As soon as we have this, we don't want the link of the price, we just want the text of the price, which we are going to call here price. Okay, and then we are going to click on next. So we have all the prices written right here in front. As you can see, wherever the brand name is not extracted, the price is also not extracted. So there is some pattern mismatch, but no problem. We at least have a couple of data extracted from this particular information. Now you can see there is a lot of information which is being extracted right now. So first of all, what did we extract? Once again, open some television. Okay. So we have extracted, the information of television name, link of the television, price of the television, and finally, I want to add one more column. I will click again on extract correlated data. I will add the discount. So I will say, I want to extract the offer on the television. What is the offer? I will come here. I will indicate this offer field, and I will call this as discount. I want the best discount. So I will click on next. So wherever there is discount, it will display. Wherever there is no discount, it won't display. That's fine with us. And once this is all done, I will simply say finish. Now, how many data do I want to extract? That we will define later. Okay, but it is asking very smoothly. Is the data spanning on multiple pages? Is this data on multiple pages? Obviously, it is on multiple pages. It's not on the one page only. If I want to extract 50 television information, it's not on one page. It's going to be on multiple pages. So I'm going to click on yes. And I'm going to indicate the next button, which is this. So I will click on this and I will indicate the next button. And that's it. So what we just did in the last 5 minutes, we extracted data from this application. Okay. And you can see on the attached browser, what we have done is in the attached browser, we have to write attached browser data extraction. Okay. And look at the selector, whether we are selecting the correct information. So you can see title is television, but now look at this. So we have three models here. First model is the opening browser, correct? Second model is attached browser and typing into TV. The third model is data scraping. In the data scraping, we don't want to make sure that it is only always TV. We can extract any other information also. So what I will do is I will use here one feature of selector. The feature of selector is called a wildcard. Okay. Now what is wildcard? So wildcard allows you to make sure that you have, you can use the selector dynamically. I don't want to use the selector only for TV, so I will select this all the line, entire line, and I will only keep Flipkart because it could be mobile, it could be TV, it could be fridge. You can search anything. So I'm going to remove this, and instead of this, I'm going to put star. Star is one of the wildcard which is used in selectors. The star will automatically consume any data which comes before Flipkart. It could be anything. So our code can work for any other data if you enter that. So that's how we will make it dynamic, and then click on OK. So once you save this, now you can see here you have an activity automatically generated which says extract structured data. In this activity, expand it, click on the activity. On the right hand side, you see properties, right? In the properties, you can see there are so many properties available here. But out of these properties, we want to make sure that we have to extract only, let's say, now this says maximum number of results 100. Let's say I want to extract only 50 data. I don't want to extract 100 television information. So I'm just looking at the top 50 information which comes on Flipkart. Okay. So I said here 50, and my data is going to be available in extract data table, which is automatically created. I don't even have to create a variable for this. Now, what are the variables? So variables are nothing but the containers. How many of you are from computer background? So you guys must know there are multiple data types available in every language that you say. In every language, wherever you want to contain the data, you have to use a variable. In Uipath also, in order to contain the information, you have to use a variable. Till the time we have written hard-coded information such as double quotation strings. But now this table, which is extracted from the screen, it is stored in the table, which is extracted table. Now, how do I check that this is the table? So I have to click on the variables panel here on the bottom. You can see this very small icon. I am hovering on it right now. And click on this variables, it will open a panel which says variables panel, where you can see extract data table name is displayed. And on the variable type, on the data type of it, you can see it is data table. That means it is going to be in a format of tabular format, okay, which you can store in Excel or CSV. So without wasting time, what we will do is we will minimize this variable panel. Now I want to store this data table. Now just consider that this information will be extracted. It is not extracted right now. It is not extracted and stored somewhere, not at all like that. It is going to run during the automation. It is going to run runtime. Okay, now runtime, when the data will be extracted, where do you want to keep the data? So I can contain the data in a CSV file. I can contain this data in Excel file. So let us say I want to store this data in Excel file. Okay. So what we will do is we will simply type here in the activities panel, as we will type here. Now tell me, if I want to save this data in Excel file, I have to type here Excel. So if I type Excel, simply look at this, how many activities are available to play around with Excel. You have append range, close workbook, copy sheet, so many things on the properties panel, as you can see on screen. There are so many activities available, right? Now, out of this, I want to write my data into Excel. So that's why I'm going to call out an activity called as write range. Now, in the write range, there are two activities available. One is under the Excel app integration, and another one is under the workbook. So there is a small difference between both of them, but this both activities work similar. Both of the activities help you to write the data in the Excel file. The first one needs Excel application scope in order to write the data. The second one directly works. So let's do one thing. Let's directly work on it. So what we will do is we will just simply drag this write range from the workbook. Remember, I have just written write range. I am dragging the write range from the workbook here. And here I'm going to call it workbook path. So don't worry, in the project folder, you can see in the project folder, there is no Excel right now. So you can simply give any, so you can simply directly give the path. So for giving the path, all you have to do is double quotation and just mention the Excel data name, which is going to be Flipkart TV dot XLSX. So you have to give the name of the Excel, which is Flipkart.tv XLSX. And now I have to give the name of the data table. So click here on the extract structured data. This is the output data table, right? Extract data table is the output data table. And write range, where we have written the name of the Excel file. And now this data, extract data table, we want to store in this Excel. So we will pass this here, calling it as extract data table. And I save this particular variable in the data table property of write range. Now here you can see the sheet name is sheet 1. So we will change this sheet 1 and we will call it as TV because it's TV information. And from where I want to write this information, so it says from A1 cell. So that's fine. I want to write my information from right from say A1. That's okay. And in the properties, it says, do you want to add headers? Yes, I want to add headers. So I will check this check button and that's it. Now, once I have written this data in Excel, after that, what I want to do is I don't want to entertain the browser anymore. Once my data is extracted from Flipkart, I simply want to close this browser. That's it. My work was just to open the Flipkart, just to type in the TV. Once it is typed, just to extract the data, store the data into right range or into Excel, and that's it. That is my work. Then I want to close the browser. Now, in order to close the browser, can you guys guess what will be the activity that I will have to drag in order to close my browser? Any guesses in the chat section? So we are going very smoothly, very slow, just to understand each and every aspect of this automation very clearly. I hope I'm being very clear, very crisp with the explanation. So what do we have to do in order to close the browser? So I get the answer. Prem Rao says close application activity. Okay. Harsh says close application. Akshay says close browser. Okay, interesting. Now let's look at what do we actually have to. So Reddy says close browser again, and Om Narayan says exit command. Okay, Om Narayan, interesting answer. Exit command. So let's look at what can we actually do in order to close the browser. So I will close this one. I will type here close. As soon as I type close, there are so many options. You can see here there is close workbook for closing Excel. There is close application for Windows based application. Now we are using browser, so we should use close tab in order to close this particular application. And there is also close window. So there is close application, close window, close workbook, close browser. So close activities are for all four of them. I simply want to use close tab, so I will just drag close tab right after this right range activity and save it, and that's it. Now we are coming out of this particular sequence. We are done with this sequence. We have completed the development, and it's finally time to run the sequence. So let's get started and let's see how fast it runs and how fast it brings the data to us. Before that, I will simply refresh the project folder. I will show you in the project folder, there is no Excel file right now, correct? Now what we will do, we will close this project folder, and are we ready? So let's say run, and let's see what exact speed we get in order to look at this. So let's say 1, 2, 3 and run, and let's look at the speed. So it opened the Flipkart, I typed in TV. Okay, and that's it. So it took how much time? So jaw-dropping speed, it took only 7 seconds. Isn't it unbelievable? It took only 7 seconds to execute this, and it has also closed the browser. I know you, before you even catch it, it has already completed the execution. Look at this. And let's minimize this, refresh the project folder structure, go to the project folder, and here you have your Excel available, which says flipkarttv.xlsx. So double click on this and open this Excel file, and here is your entire data. So you have your data of brand name along with the link, along with the price, along with the discount. And how many information we requested? So we requested for 50 information. So here scroll below and you see you have total 51 rows including header. That means you have information of 50 televisions extracted from Flipkart, which is the exact information which you wanted. The last TV is so expensive. It's like 1,29,000. That's okay. However, you can see this is extracted very smoothly, right? Isn't it awesome? Now I can do what? I can work on this data. I can look at this data later, and I can actually decide which TV I exactly want to buy, based on the price, based on the discount available. And I can run this bot whenever I want. Correct? Now let's close this Excel and let's look at Let's come back to Uipath. So this execution took us only 7 seconds in order to run. Isn't that wonderful? So that's what I'm talking about. That is what the speed I'm talking about. In order to create this bot, as I was explaining to all of you very slowly, it took a lot of time for us to run through the first bot. But as you get into practice, right? Once you get into practice, it is awesome. I know Prem has commented, wow, it's really such a great, it's amazing. I know it's really great because the first time when I executed this bot, the first time when I learned UiPath, I learned data scraping only. And it was so amazing. I was so, mesmerized with the execution, that how fast it is running and how it is actually working on it, how it is extracting the data. And, it's actually going to the multiple pages. How does it do that? So it's awesome. Now, before wasting time, we have very less time in our hand. So before wasting time, let's look at the second bot of the day. So the first bot we have completed is Flipkart. Okay. The second bot that I want to show you how easy it is. Okay. How easy it is in order to use and in order to automate your daily life processes. Now, for example, on the daily basis, if you all are from computer background, if you all are, let's say, working somewhere, or if you're not, if you're a student, but everyone has a similar situation on their email inbox. The situation is that you get a lot of emails on the daily basis. I can see in the chat section, Dolly Mehra has commented, if we run this again, then it will again make Excel file or not. It will exactly make again an Excel file. Why not? If you want me to show it, now look at this. I will just delete this Flipkart. I can delete this, or if I don't delete it, it will simply overwrite the data because we have used write range, right? So it will overwrite the data. So what I will say is I will simply delete this and just look at it. I will run it again for you. I will simply say run. Look at this dot. This time it is very fast. Look at this. Flipkart TV. It's on the first page. It's on the second page already, third page. And that's it. It's done. Refresh. And you have your data available here. It has again created Excel file. Look at this. The same Excel file. Probably new data will come up and that will also be added in this Excel file. So no matter how many times you run, this bot is now completed. It's perfect now. Okay. Smooth. So now we will move on to our next use case. We have so small amount of time. And if you have any questions, you can anytime connect with us and talk with us. No problem in that. Okay. We will definitely talk about it. The second use case is about the emails. So every one of us receives a lot of emails on the daily basis, and we are so much careless that we don't even try to read it box. I mean, personally, I am so careless that I don't even try to read all the emails. I just look at the email subjects. I just look at the email who is the sender, and I decide whether I want to read the email or not. But because of that, there are so many unread emails are there on my email box. Now I will show you how you can manage this situation, how you can very easily, with the use of very couple of activities, you can automate this email classification process, and you can look at only the important emails that you want to look at. Okay. So let's go ahead and let's see how do we do this. So we will drag a sequence here. We will rename the sequence as email automation. Okay. Now you believe me why I have used flowchart is I will create all the workflows within the same thing, right? So that's why I use flowchart. Now I will disconnect from this sequence. Flipkart will not run anymore. I will simply connect the email automation sequence. In the email automation sequence, I will double click over it. Now here, in order to work with email, what I have to do is I will click on manage packages. I will have to download a package called as uipath.mail.activities. Okay. So this package, how do you download it? Click on official in the manage packages, type here mail, and you will see uipath.mail.activities. Click here and say install. Now it says uninstall because it's already installed on my machine. Okay. So download this package. Once you download the package, I will show you right now with the Outlook. You can also automate Gmail. There's no problem in that. I will show you how to do that. So I will simply type here Outlook. Okay, now what I have to do is I want to read all the emails in my Outlook, and I want to classify those emails, and I want to make sure that only important emails are stored in important folder, and I want to only look at the important emails. I don't want to look at the other emails. So what I will do is I will simply drag this get Outlook mail message activity here in the center. In the get Outlook mail message activity, what I will do is this is my inbox. right? So the mail folder is inbox from where I want to read the emails. Okay. It is asking whether you want to read only unread emails. You can choose that, but I don't want to read only unread emails. I want to also read, read emails already. So I will uncheck this option. How many top emails do you want to read? Do you want to read top 30 emails, top 50, top 100? It's on up to you. Let's navigate to Outlook. So we have how many emails? We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And also there are a couple of emails in the other folder, right? So there are almost 15 to 16 emails in my inbox. Now what I want to do is I want to read all these emails, but while reading these emails, however, what I want to do is wherever the email subject says machine learning, you see, it says machine learning on the email subject. Here also it says machine learning on the email subject, and in couple of places. So there are two emails where subject contains machine learning, right? Now, wherever the subject is machine learning, it's really important for me. This email is very important for me. So what I want to do is I want to move this email into most important folder, and automatically. I don't want to do it manually. I want my bot to do it every day before I wake up. Okay. So I want bot to move the email where subject is machine learning into most important, and rest all the emails. It's not important for me. So rest all the emails, I just want to move them in the personal folder. So look at the personal folder is empty. Most important folder is also empty right now. And all the emails are in the inbox. How do I achieve this using Uipath? So what I did is I simply dragged get Outlook mail message activity. Okay. It is going to read from my inbox and top 30, and where it will store. So it will store this particular all the emails. I will right click here and will create a variable, and I will call it as list of emails. Now, how do I create a variable in the output panel? Remember, click here, right click. It gives you a lot of options. Out of that, you have to select create variable. So click on create variable and just type here the name of the variable, that is list of mails. Okay. Hit enter, control S, and save it. As soon as I save it, list of mails, I save it. Go to variables panel and check. The variable name is list of mails and the variable type is list of mail message. Okay, it is list of all the mail messages. The emails are not yet extracted. It is just a variable that we have created in order to store all the emails. So a single email will be stored in a mail message and all the emails will be stored in list of mail messages. Okay, I will minimize this mail message. Now what I want to do is I want to traverse through each and every email from this list. Okay, I want to traverse through each and every email from this list, and I want to check the subject. So if I want to traverse through each and every email from a list of emails, what is the conditional flow that I want to take, or what is the activity that I want to consider? In data structure, what do you do? Can you answer? Anyone in the chat section? How do you work on single element from a list? What is the conditional logic that you use? So conditional flow is like if else, then there is while, do while, for. So which condition you will use? Okay, so I already have an answer from Melvin. Melvin says for each. Okay, Melvin, and that's correct answer. Harsh says for loop. Correct, Harsh, exactly. So if we want to extract data from a list, and we want to extract we want to work on each and every information of it. Yes, Prem, your answer is correct, for each. So we will drag activity called as for each from the activity panel. As you can look at this activity here, for each. So Priyanka has also answered, Priyanka Jadhav, for each activity, correct. I will drag this activity right here, for each, and I will write here for each. What is the name of the variable? The variable name is list of mails. So I will type here list of mails, right, in the for each loop. And instead of this item, I will simply type here, I will just replace this and I will type here mail. Now for each mail, in the list of mails. Okay. For each mail in the list of mails, what I want to do is I want to work on each and every email, right? Now this mail, the type argument of this mail is right here, and it's written as object, but it's not object. So I will simply click on browse for types, and I will say here mail message. So select from the browse from types as system.net.mail message as a single object. So type argument of the mail is system.net.mail.mail message in the type activity. And then I will drag in the center condition called as if. Okay, so I am dragging the if condition right here in the body. Now look at this. For each list of mail message, for each mail in the list of mail message, if my mail dot subject dot toString, I will convert this subject into toString dot tool over. Now you're going to say that Nisa, you're cheating. You said no coding, right? But it's not coding actually. It is the functions of string. String functions are also important when you are actually manipulating some data. So don't worry about that. I'm not cheating anything. I'm not asking you to code explicitly, but that's very easy. Look at this. So mail dot subject dot toString dot tool over dot contains, if it contains in any way machine learning. Okay. If it contains machine learning, then what do I want to do is I want to simply say move folder, move email, or I simply want to say move. When I type move, so then here I have in the mail, you can see move Outlook mail message activity. I will drag this activity in then block. I will drag this activity in the else block both ways, right? Now look at this. Look at this very easily. For each mail in the list of mails, if the mail.subject.toString dot tool over contains machine learning, if it contains machine learning, if it's true, then I want to pass this mail in a folder. What is the name of my folder in the Outlook? Most important. So give it exact, most important. And if it is not containing machine learning, then I want to pass this mail in which folder? I want to pass it in simply personal folder. So there is personal folder right here. So I'll pass it in personal folder. And once this is done, that's it. That's just my code, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm simply going to run the bot. Now look at this. My inbox contains all the emails. My most important is empty. My personal folder is empty. And only the information is in inbox. Now let's go ahead and let's run this email automation and go back to our Outlook and look at the inbox. All the emails are vanishing from here, and that's it. So the speed of the bot is only 3 seconds. Again, one mesmerizing speed. Okay. Now this speed is 3 seconds, and within 3 seconds, it was able to move or classify all the emails. And look at the inbox is empty right now, and all the emails where they went. Let's go to most important. In the most important, there are only 2 emails where the subject contains machine learning. Can you look at this? So where the subject contains machine learning, there are only 2 emails in the most important, and in the personal, all the emails are stored. It was empty, right? All the rest of the emails went into personal folder. So that's how easy it is. How many activities did we use? Now tell me honestly, how many activities or how many lines of code you will have to write in order to perform this automation in Python or in Java or in any language that you are currently working on. You will need a lot of lines of code in order to do this. But in Uipath, you was able to do it with only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 activities, and that's it. With totally 5 activities, you were able to classify all the emails into multiple folders based on the condition of subject. You can anytime change the condition. You can use body, you can use sender, you can use receiver, you can use any sort of way that you want, and you can change the condition anytime that you want. So that's how easy the email automation is, and that's how easy email automation that we are talking about. Now let's talk about how can we actually send an email. Okay, for sending an email, I have already written a code. I don't want to waste too much of time on that. So let me simply connect the start node and show you. For sending an email, what we have to do is, if you want to send an email from Gmail, okay, if you want to send an email from a Gmail, then what you do is you use activity called as SMTP, send SMTP mail message. Now, can anyone quickly write the answer of SMTP? What is the full form of SMTP? What is the full form of IMAP? And what is the full form of POP? Tell me full form of all three without searching on Google. Honestly, what is the full form of SMTP, full form of IMAP, and POP? And believe me, people are watching you commenting, right? So don't search on Google. Be honest with yourself. What is the full form of all these three? And we will, in the meantime, I will show you how this works. So what I have done is I have written get password here, where I'm actually getting the password. Now this password is not the email password. Okay, this password is not the email password. Okay, so I have so many answers. I have simple mail transfer protocol. I have post office protocol. Okay, what is IMAP? Tell me guys, what is IMAP? So Prem has answered both the questions. SMTP, simple mail message protocol. So Prem, it is simple mail transfer protocol, SMTP, correct? And post office protocol is correct. POP. What is IMAP? Okay, so now in order to automate your Gmail, what all settings do you need? That is really, really important. Okay. What all settings do you need to do? So, okay, Internet Message Access Protocol, Dolly Mehra has answered. The answer is correct. Okay, so let's look at how you can automate Gmail. I know you are interested in knowing how you can automate Gmail. So let's navigate to Gmail very quickly. What I'm going to do is I'm simply going to navigate to my Digital Nisarg email. Okay. And in this email, what I'm going to do is look at this. So I click on this Google Apps, click on the account. Okay. Click on account. Click on security. Okay. In the security, you can see here there is two-step verification enabled. So my two-step verification is already enabled. App password. Now, if you do not have two-step authentication enabled, you have to switch it on. Then you will see there is an app password available right here. You have to click on app password and you have to generate a password here. So I will log into this. What you have to do is you have to click on this and you have to generate. Okay, one second. I will have to confirm that this is me on my phone. Okay, I've confirmed it. Loading, and yeah. So you can see you can select app from here and you can select device and it will show you a simply created password which you can use without authentication to read the emails or to send the emails. Okay, this password you have to create. That's going to be a simple string displayed in yellow color. Once you copy that string, store that string somewhere in password protected way. Okay, that's where I don't want to show you because you guys can hack my email, so I don't want you to do that. So what I'm going to do is what I have done is I have already stored this password in the get password activity here. So there is an activity called as get password which will store your password like this without showing the characters, and you can create a variable for that. Now you have to use activity called as SMTP, send SMTP mail message. In the send SMTP mail message, to whom I want to send this email? I want to send this email to nisargkadam@outlook.com. The subject is testing email and the body is testing body. I have attached already some PDF file also here, right? I have attached a sample PDF file, input PDF docs. Sorry, it's a document file. It's a Word file, sample Word file in the attachment. And now what else you need? So in the activities property, as Melvin has already commented, thank you so much, Melvin, for entering the port number. Melvin has already commented the port number in the chat section. The port number is 587 and the server of SMTP is smtp.gmail.com. So you enter this both the values. Port number is without double quotation and server is with double quotation because it's an integer value. Now you enter the email from which you want to send. You enter the password and that's it. That's all about it. And once you select this activity and simply say run. Now let's go to our Gmail and let's see if it sends an email. Go to the send items. Okay, it's already run. So look at the speed. It took 4 seconds. Go to the send items, refresh. We can see it has sent an email to Nisarg Kadam. And how can we verify? Let's go to our Outlook. And in the Outlook, we just emptied our entire inbox, correct? So just go to inbox and here is our email. We have just received it right now, 12:30 p.m. Testing body along with the input doc PDF document. So that is how easy it is to automate Gmail also. Now, we just automated Gmail without any hurdle, with only one activity. And with only one activity, we were able to send an SMTP mail message to our own email. That's how easy it is. Okay. So that's being said, okay, now we are almost done. We are almost done, and we are almost on the end of the session. Around the end of the session, I know you guys are too much excited, and you're also interested. You're also enjoying the session. I hope so, because I can see the count is still maintained. So that's fine. And now, finally, with the last note, I just want to show you how easy it is to automate the document also, or the data also. So for showing you that, let me quickly navigate and let me quickly show you how can we automate a PDF. And with that, we will close the session within 5 minutes, next 5 minutes. So let's navigate to PDF files. I will open one of the PDF, which is going to be a simple PDF. It's a simple text PDF. Oh, I don't have Acrobat. Okay, no problem. So we'll look at this later in the next day, on the tomorrow's day, and we will look at this later. So in today's session, we have covered Flipkart, we have covered email automation, and we have covered so many things that I hope I have interested you guys a lot with how RP works, and I have explained you practically how it looks. So that's all about it in the today's session. Thank you so much for being with me. And if you guys want to follow me, so you can follow me on YouTube channel. I have my own YouTube channel. I'm on LinkedIn. You can follow me on LinkedIn. And if you guys want to know more about me, then just scan this QR code and reach out to me anytime. And thank you so much. That's all about it. So I will keep this QR code for just some time on screen so that you guys can scan it. You can subscribe to me on my YouTube channel, and you can also connect with me on LinkedIn. I am always open to talk. And with this, I think I will ask Anuj to pitch in, and we will talk about the challenge of the day.
Hey, am I audible?
Yes, Anuj.
Great. So, hello everyone. It was really nice session. Thanks, Nishar, for coming and speaking about RP and teaching people how to get started with that. So, soon we'll be sending you an email, and as well as we'll be sharing the GitHub repository link on the communication channel. And you need to complete the project challenge for today on that repository. What is the challenge? Nisar will take you through that, and I'll take you through the process. Basically, you just need to fork the given repository, complete the challenge, upload the files, and generate the pull request. It is simple as that. And you need to do this by today's midnight. That's for challenge one, for day one. And for day two, we'll be sharing another challenge with the things that will be thought by Nisar that tomorrow. So Nisar, it will be great if you could take them through the challenge, which they need to complete it by
Sure.
today midnight.
Sure. Thank you so much, Anuj, for the opportunity. And let me show you what is the challenge. So the challenge is very easy. It's not that tough, but it's a little bit tricky, and that's why it's called challenge. So you will be shared a link on the GitHub, and this is going to be the link. Okay, so let me show you. So on this link, I have created a Google form, okay, which is RPA challenge Google form. On this, you have first name, last name, which is a text type field. You have gender. You have some drop down from where you can actually select the value. You have technical skills, email ID, and your interest in learning RPA. So this is the form which I have designed specifically for you to automate, and you have to perform the data entry in this form. Now what you have to do is, I have also shared an input Excel file. This is the input Excel file. Let me quickly show you. And there are almost 10 rows of data. Okay. There are 10 rows of data where you have first name, last name, gender, state, which you want to select, technical skills, comma separated. You want to select multiple technical skills, email, interest in RPA. Now, once you perform the data entry, what you want to do is you have to update the status as completed. Okay. Now here you are going to use combination of Excel automation and UI automation, where you're going to perform the data entry, which is going to be very simple, and our mentors are also going to guide you through that. Now, once you complete the data entry, you have to update the status completed. And the most interesting part is once you complete this data entry, once you update all the 10 rows of data in the Google form one by one, because you will also have submit another response option available, the person who will be able to do it fast and the fastest person, what you have to do is you have to record the automation. Whatever automation that you do, you automate it, you record it, and once you record the automation, upload it on LinkedIn, on social media, tag IncubateIND, mention the hashtags of so hashtags, I think Anuj will tell you a lot about it. Tag me also in it, okay, and shows the speed of the execution. And the person who is going to show this bot around the end of the day with the fastest execution speed, I think that person will definitely get some goodies, right? I mean, I hope I'm not exaggerating, Anuj here. So that's what we are going to do. Are you with me, Anuj?
Yeah, I am here.
Correct. Perfect. So you guys have to perform this data entry, and the fastest person will obviously get some tag, get some goodies, and also get some recognition as a fastest automator. So looking forward to it, and this all information you're going to get on the Git, and email will be sent to you after the session. So thank you so much, Anuj.
Thanks, Mr. So I guess that's it for the challenge and how to complete the challenge. We'll be sharing you a GitHub repository, and along with that, we'll be sharing you the form as well. After posting the video on the social media, you just need to fill out the post link so that even if we miss out the tags, we can keep a track if you have posted it. So that's how it will go. Soon we'll be sharing everything over the mail, and that's it. So we complete the day one session of IncubateIND Developer Tech Camp of Robotic Process Automation. See you guys tomorrow. Thanks everyone. And if you have any queries, feel free to message the mentors. They are on the communication challenge. The name is Parth, Mr. Parth and Mr. Piyush. I will be informing them as well as tagging them in the communication channel so you can get to know who's the mentors. They will be there with you 24/7 to help you out completing the process. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for coming. Thanks, Nisar, for coming. Thanks, mentors. All the
Thank
best,
you so much,
guys.
Anuj. Wonderful platform. See you tomorrow.